Piece of property on the city's west side. If approved, he could build a 7-story apartment building west of I-15.
But the development would bring new development, also housing in an area in need of renewal. But not everyone is happy about the height of the building. Fox 13's Todd Tanner has the story.
When we found out, we were very concerned.
Salt Lake City is set to grow again. This time in the form of a mid-rise apartment building near 900 South and 700 West, where there's never been such a tall building before. But could it hamper a religion's peace, quiet, and ability to practice? 40 years ago, a Utah-born religion laid down roots on the same block.
This is consecrated land,
creating a patch of green punctuated by a copper-colored pyramid.
We have people who sit up on our mausoleum behind our pond and enjoy the sound of the water.
This is Summum.
This is where we're going to be entombed. We're not going anywhere.
There, inside the pyramid,
all these animals will be entombed.
And yes, that's a mummy. Or more specifically, that's Corky.
Corky wanted to be mummified. He passed away in 2008, and we mummified him.
Corky Ross started Summum in 1975, and he's ended up standing up in a golden sarcophagus.
You'd like the key that would unlock the door, right?
While living, the founder claimed to have been visited by celestial beings.
I would say that is a very fair description of every religion that's out there.
Follower Ron Tamu says Summum does a lot of the same things here that other churches do elsewhere.
How have you used psychokinesis, let's just say, in your own life?
In pre-pandemic years, they had open Wednesday night meetings.
When we are in here, we meditate.
Much of that, current President Sue Manu says, revolves around nature.
These are what we call our spiritual plants, all of these here.
Bernie Awa is also a believer. He tends to the sanctuary's greenhouse.
It's sort of like in the Jewish tradition, foods being kosher. They're blessed.
But it takes sunshine to help grow those blessings.
Not grow lights, sunlight, because it imparts spiritual essence in it.
And that leaves them concerned about the big building that could rise on their south and west sides.
That's a small area, and they want to stack them 7 stories high.
Summum is also concerned about noise from I-15. You can hear a bit of it now, but a 7-story building behind their sanctuary, they say, would amplify the noise.
I just wish that the developer and the city council would take us into consideration.
The Salt Lake City Council could decide as soon as Tuesday whether or not to rezone this area from light manufacturing with a height cap of 65 feet to high-density residential, allowing buildings up to 75 feet. The developer requesting the change, Maximilian Korth of Highboy Ventures, responded to Fox 13's questions by way of email, writing, "We are planning a 6 or 7-story building with a varied roofline and building height to create more architectural interest. Depending on the floor height, the building could be 65 to 75 feet tall." When asked if there are any design elements to address the concerns raised by Summum, he wrote, "In discussions with Summum, we have committed to remaining engaged with our neighbors during the design process to address their concerns. The community councils of Poplar Grove and Glendale have both endorsed the rezoning request, and Summum says they're not entirely against the development, just its size."
Where are our people going to park for our church? Blocks away? Where are these people going to park? Blocks away?
They feel they might have been more included in planning if, perhaps, theirs was a more traditional church.
Just allow us to practice our religion the way we allow you to practice yours, and we don't interfere. Maybe some of the things you do we think are weird.
And while Summum may be small in number,
we do not try to collect people.
Their legal prowess has been displayed a number of times. They navigated liquor laws to create Utah's first winery decades ago.
It is our sacrament.
In 2003, their request to place religious monuments in city parks went all the way to the Supreme Court, and in 2009, they challenged the separation of church and state by offering to buy property the Canyon School District had set aside for an LDS seminary building. When asked if they're considering legal action now to protect the sunshine and plants that are part of their religion,
Yes, and we've already been talking to attorneys.
but first, they say, they'll try to remain optimistic that the big new building maybe won't be so big or block out too much sun. And while they wait, they have an invitation to the mayor, the developer, and their city councilman.
No one has even bothered to take a tour here, and it might be helpful.
Todd Tanner, Fox 13 News, Utah.